Welcome to Sweeping the Country. I'm your host, Derek Walker, along with me, my co-host, Mr. Jimmy Carter. Hey, Jimmy.
Oh, man, it's a week from the election as we do this.
Are we done with this yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're on the final lap, and they're on the, what do they call that, the wrap-up speech, and, you know, their summary of who they are and what they are. And a lot of people, I mean, 50, 60, 70 million people have already voted.
Yeah, what's that about? I mean, there's a lot of early voting this go-around.
And I haven't heard anyone particularly, I don't think, guess about who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they the hardcore Republicans or Democrats or what?
Right, or a little of both, maybe.
I mean, I can't vote where I am. They don't allow it. You can't advance vote. But, you know, the people in Georgia, I mean, people in Texas, my boy Ted, he voted.
Yeah, we have it.
Good. You know, he went on a day they didn't have any lines, and he went there and voted.
Well, they're pitching it that way. I noticed even here, they're saying, hey, it's great. They interview people, and they say, yeah, it was great. There was no one in line. I just went down. I did it on my time.
It's a great thing. I mean, I did it in Tennessee always.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Not living there right now. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's just I know people are going to be the most extreme here toward the end because they're trying to close the sale. And, you know, I think a lot of us would rather have somebody else running on the Republican side and somebody else running on the Democratic side.
That's fair.
But we don't. We've got the two choices we've got, and you've got to pick. And many people have already picked.
I was going to say.
I'm really offended by, though. I'm really offended by number one, the Drudge Report. That's going to be long after this is over with. I'm done with them pretty much.
Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, he's gone from being a Rush Limbaugh supporter that Rush talked about all the time to being the farthest nut left winger in the bunch.
What?
In fact, you look at his list of almost the whole Drudge Report every day lately has been the most negative story on top of the most negative story about Trump.
That's wild.
And yes, there are a lot of negative stories because that's what the people are looking for, that are the far left ones that do control the media. And people say that, and it's just not true. Yes, it is true.
It's apparent. I mean, people got their head in the sand if they think it isn't. But I'm
in journalism. I've been in the news business all my life.
Yeah, sure.
I know the people at these places. And you can go in a newsroom at just about any place in the Northeast, for example, or in California, and it would be hard-pressed to find anybody that's not, somewhere on the left of the page. Some are more creepy than others. In the wire services and the people, I mean, look at the newsroom of the Washington Post revolting because they didn't endorse anybody for president on the opinion page.
Right.
It shouldn't be their concern. As regular citizens or subscribers, they can have a vote in that. But as a newsroom upset because they endorsed the candidate that they all want, you read the stories and it's just ridiculous. Same with the LA Times. You know, it's just so far not a fair playing field.
I got to tell you,
one more time, Trump called Hitler. It makes me crazy.
I agree with you, and
he's not Hitler. He's got a lot of problems. He's got a lot of stuff that he does, but no one is Hitler. And, Hitler is Hitler. And that's the worst thing. And the people throw that around. There's nothing that's ever been like Auschwitz, and pray to God we never have it happen again.
Agree.
There's nobody that's ever been like Hitler, and hope to God we never have anybody like it happen again.
I agree with that too.
Pure evil. And that is just wrong to Trump. Is not that. He has a lot of faults, but come on, folks. And it's just, and it's coming from these actors and actresses that are dramatic in their lifestyle anyway. And in this day and time, does anybody really give a hoot what an actor does, endorsements?
Well, I was just going to say, you brought this up. You're talking about the Drudge and how they've gone, the way of the left or the extreme or whatever. And it used to be right. Now it's left. And I look at the Washington Post, right? And you brought that up too. I don't even read things from the Washington Post anymore, just like I don't maybe from, I don't want to say the New York Times, but either way, I look at Washington Post and I think this story is not without bias, so I'm not reading it. And I think the same thing is happening with the actors and actresses. When you see the guys, and I'll just throw this out there, like De Niro. Wasn't it De Niro
Yeah.
that came out and was so hateful?
Ellen Barkin,
And Barkin. You see that, and now you just turn the other way. I turn the other way. I'm like, I don't want to hear what they have to say, and
I don't either.
I don't want to
Agree.
watch the movies they're in.
It does affect that.
It does.
And the same way with people who are kooky on the right.
I agree. No, I agree.
Everybody has a right to back whoever you want and to be whoever you want.
Yeah, I agree.
And I guess it's good that somebody is a real cheerleader for their team, but it does affect how I think about people. And this time particularly, I mean, I've been around long enough to be through a lot of elections.
Sure, yeah.
And I've seen the hate there was for Nixon.
Mhm.
I've seen the hate there was for Reagan.
Yeah.
I've seen the hate there was for Obama. I've seen a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly the hate for Trump is the Trump derangement syndrome, as it's called.
Yeah, I mean, it gets, and if it wasn't hateful, if it was just an opinion, and you were just giving me an opinion, right? And we do that on this program a lot, on this podcast, where we give our opinions, and your opinion is valuable to me because you've seen a lot of things that I'll probably never see in my lifetime just because of what you do for a living, but also because you've been around for a long time, you've been close to a lot of people that have a lot of power, and so you've seen it firsthand, and I respect that. But I look at it, and I think about your opinion, and I go, okay, it's an opinion. You're not spewing hate about either one of the candidates. I'm not spewing hate. When it gets angry, when it gets, directed at someone or name calling so severely like is happening right now, I get turned off. I get very turned off by that.
Well, I think a lot of people have done that too, and they may be the people who've already voted.
Yeah.
They made up their mind, and they don't want to hear, what's going to happen in the final quarter.
Right.
I mean, I've never, I guess, when you're for a team,
Mm-hmm.
in this case, it's Republican and Democrat, but you're for a team in sports. And sometimes you can get really into your team.
Yeah.
I hate the Cleveland Browns, and I know people in Pittsburgh don't like the Cleveland Browns. And
Sure.
you really get to that kind of thing, and the Yankees versus the Mets, and the different things that people get into their sports teams.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Auburn, Alabama, in the
Oof.
state that I'm from, but even then, I mean, people don't like the other team, but it doesn't go to the point, where they're Hitler. I wish they would die. I mean, some of these
Right.
scale things, but and sometimes people go crazy and say nutty things. Sometimes it takes that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes shock to wake people up. Maybe that's happened in this election. Since we don't know how it's turned out, we don't know yet.
Yeah, this is true.
The one thing that concerns me, and I've listened to some New York talk shows
Mm-hmm.
and guests some people that are sharp, that write columns for papers, and I know whose team they're for.
Yeah.
But I hear it from them, and I hear it from others that people fear violence after this election. I mean, really worry about that. I mean, no matter who wins.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I don't know who these people are that are going to get violent. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
maybe
either,
it's the
but
people that were on the anti-Israel side. I don't know. I don't know who these people are that they perceive will be violent. Like the people were in Portland. When they were going crazy out
Antifa.
there.
That was all Antifa.
I just don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're talking about left or right. I think they're talking about equal. No matter who wins, there's going to be the other side that's going to be, just violent. And God, I hope that doesn't happen. But, it just feels like this whole thing has been just weird.
I agree with you.
The whole thing with Biden gone, and Harris in, the whole thing that Trump just stomped on everybody that ran against him.
Yeah.
So, and wow. So how this is going to turn out, nobody knows. And I hope that one or the other wins big.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there'll be less of a
I
reaction.
hope this thing is not a photo finish.
Yeah.
I really hope it isn't, or not even close.
Yeah, I agree. A landslide victory for either side
Either side.
might ensure less reaction.
I hope. Because
I hope
say,
so
okay, we
too.
were really wrong. But if it's a photo finish, I mean, Lord, I mean,
I
it's just
also
weird.
I also think with this election, and more than any other that I've ever experienced in my lifetime, is more predetermined by people, voters, right? I feel like you could have the election a month ago and it would have been the same. As soon as, I don't think they're giving us anything new to vote for. I don't think anybody's getting moved to one side or
The
the
more you
other.
see some of these people, and some of these the View type crowd
Yeah.
that's going crazy over this guy it's not funny to me at all.
Hmm.
I don't even know his name, and I don't want to know his name.
Yeah.
This rally at Madison Square Garden, uh, he did a joke about Puerto Rico. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Trump didn't say it. The unknown comic, you know,
Hmm.
nobody laughed in the audience, which ought to tell you something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people they're trying to find anything they can grasp onto, anything to make it negative to that side of the page. I don't see that happening as much on trying to do that to the Harris thing, other than they keep calling her stupid all the time, and I don't think that woman is stupid. I mean, you can say what you want about her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't get to be where she is and be stupid. So
No,
let's not be stupid and call her stupid, because she's not stupid.
it is
Is
getting
she as
tiresome.
glib as some other people? No,
Hmm.
she's not. And has she been guarded? Yes. Has she put herself open to doing a Joe Rogan podcast? No. She wanted to do it for an hour, and you had to come to her. Well, that's not what the rules were. You had to go to Joe and do it in Austin. So, I think she lost an opportunity there.
I would
Um,
agree with that. But yeah, I think it's getting tiresome. I think they're
oh,
just beating the same drum over and over.
they are.
I don't see anything new. I don't see, as much as they've gone with Trump being Hitler or Kamala not putting policies out, it's just tiresome because nobody's rectifying any of that. They say
And
it.
everybody's promising all these things that are
Hmm.
ridiculous, that aren't on both sides, that aren't, you got to get it through Congress. The president can do some things in
Hmm.
executive power, involving the border. There's some temporary things they can do, and they did. There's some things they can do, but they're not the king,
Yeah.
and you got to go through the Congress to do things. They can appoint a judge, but it's got to be the Congress people that say it's okay for them
Right.
to go serve,
Right.
and
Right.
pretty much everything else.
Hmm.
So, we'll see where this is at the end of the day, but take for take with a big grain of salt everything that both sides have said of what they promised to do, because the old saying is, don't make promises you can't keep. I don't know how in the world they're going to take the tax off of Social Security or off of tips.
Right. Right.
I mean, some of this stuff, the country's got to have money to run on,
Right.
and
Right.
it's got fixed expenses. And so I don't know how they're going to do some of that stuff, but it sure sounds good. But
I
just
will say this. I just interject. I have to vote on the 5th. I moved and I didn't register in the new county in time and blah blah blah. So I've got to do it. I can do it in person. I got to take whatever,
me
my
too.
passport, whatever. So I'm going to do all that. But I encourage people, as much as they feel like, oh, I'm on this side or I'm on that side or it doesn't matter about my vote, I encourage people to vote because there's a lot of local stuff going on. You know it in your state, your county, and that's
Not as much as in some elections, but there are probate judges and things that are
yeah.
real important
They
that
are real.
affect you.
I agree. So get out there and do that. Vote for those people and get to know who they are a little bit and vote for them because it does affect your local community. You
It
know.
does. And so, moving on. And so, anyway, that is obviously the 1,000-ton gorilla
Yeah.
that's in the room.
Sitting
And
on
we're not,
everyone's
we
chest.
didn't ignore it, and we can't ignore it.
Yeah.
And may the best candidate win, and may
Right.
they win by a lot.
A lot.
Please,
Indeed.
please win by a lot.
Win by a lot.
I got caught up in a fraud thing with the credit card
Oh no.
this past week. Got a text, and it said from the United States Postal Service. I've seen their emails before.
Mhm.
It looked like one.
Yeah.
I looked in the bottom of it down there where they have the copyright and that kind of stuff, and it was the right address, USPS.com
Hmm.
slash tracker something other. And it said I owed 30 cents because some package that was being sent to me was wrong zip code, and it needed to be redirected. And in order for me to get it, I got to pay the 30-cent postage due.
Yeah.
I said, okay. We talked. In fact, partner talked about it, and we both said, okay. So I put in my American Express and filled it out and hit send, and it spun around, and it went on for about a minute. And I said, something doesn't feel right here, and so cut the phone off, disconnected it, cut it off, and I immediately called American Express, and they said they caught it.
Wow.
And it was wrong. It was a crook. It was a crooks.
Wow.
They had stopped it, and they had to change my number and send me a new card, and all these things that are attached to my credit. I pay almost a lot of my bills with my American Express.
I do too. Yeah.
Because I get points, and then I pay it all off.
I do it for that too.
I pay it all off. And so it's better than doing. It's just easier.
Yeah.
So now I've got to go through. I've got to go through people.
Jimmy.
And try to remember. One good thing is they changed the number, and so I've been trying to figure out how to cancel this car wash service, but it canceled that.
Auto cancel.
Yeah, that canceled that. But I hadn't been able to get anybody to do it otherwise. But
yeah.
Oh, it's just, man, you just got to be so careful.
Yeah, you do.
On what you're signing up for. And here's why I found the mistake on their thing.
Yeah.
It said the amount of money was 0.3, but I thought they were doing something with metric. And 0.3, 30 cents. I thought it was, I don't. Maybe they're just. I hate metric.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was that, but that's what the key should have been to tip me off.
It wasn't exactly correct. Yeah.
It wasn't 30 cents. It was 0.3.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a mistake on there. You just got to find it in the puzzle. So warning that I've been getting emails from American Express and everybody else on all the different frauds that are out there.
Yeah, be careful.
And places that you buy stuff from online and all of that stuff. So
hey, I'm still frozen. I still have everything frozen from the last time that this big breach of all these Social Security numbers were hijacked. I froze my credit with all the major agencies, and you can unfreeze it when you want to apply for credit, but I'm not looking to do that. But I froze it, and I thought to myself, why isn't it always frozen? And then if you want to buy something, you can unfreeze it. You can still use your Amex. You can still use this other stuff, but people can't open new credit when you freeze.
Right.
It doesn't give them access. And I just thought, why do they make it so it's open all the time? Instead, close it all the time, and then if you want to open it, then open it.
Yeah,
but
they changed my password. I have a temporary
Oh, they
one
do all that,
I haven't gone to. I'm waiting until I may try to use the temporary password and change it tonight. But
yeah,
it's a lot of work. And here's another thing it's a lot of work. I didn't buy a phone this time around.
You're kidding me. You always get the new iPhone. Yeah.
I've never not done it.
Yeah.
15 iPhones, and I bought the new one every year for ever how many times.
Why didn't you buy it?
There wasn't enough to change. I didn't see that there was enough difference in this, and I just paid it off.
Yeah.
And I said, there's just not enough change for me. It takes a day of my life away from me when I
switch it over.
Oh my God! To get all the pictures, I have a zillion pictures.
Yeah. It's a hassle.
And a lot of them in the cloud, but a lot of them are still in here. I have music that's in here, and every time you change over, some of it doesn't transfer over because it doesn't.
For whatever reason, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the butt. So I didn't want to have that pain in the butt. Now, today, they came out with iOS 18.1 or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, with artificial intelligence.
Ooh, are you getting it? Did you get
Part 1 of 2. It does work on iPhone, the new one, and then it works on the one before. And I have the one before. So number 1 in the photos, it's now got an eraser. Like here was a picture of a car, and there were these 2 lines on the street in front of the car. Well, they were distracting. So I was able to get the eraser and go zit, 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 and those lines disappeared.
So it's awesome.
So it's got an eraser on there where you can get rid of things in pictures that you don't want.
So if you wait a minute. So if I were to get a divorce, I could go back and erase my wife
There's a
from
better
all the
program
pictures.
for that, but you could. Yeah, you can
Well, that's really
erase things or
that's
erase somebody who's photobombing you.
yeah, that's
You know, you
pretty
could get them
handy. I
out if
mean,
you wanted to. I mean, mostly you have to cut out to do that. But anyway, that's one thing I know it does. There are other things. There's
no.
the big thing, you can record phone calls.
Oh, I want that. I want
But you
that.
do notify as soon as you hit that button. It's in the top left of
Hmm.
the screen. You know, it says who you're talking to.
It says it's
In the
recording.
top left, there's a red button.
Yeah.
You hit it, and as soon as you hit it, it says recording, and it says that to the person that you're recording.
How
Now, I
far?
don't know if you can do it before the phone call. You know, you hit it, and then the person hadn't answered yet. If it's
Yeah.
going to be recording when they answer, I haven't experimented with it that much yet.
So it goes back to the what? The 15?
It goes to notes.
What's
No,
but
no, the phone, iPhone
yeah,
15.
iPhone 15. So
15 Pro.
I can't do it. I got 13 mini. That's how
Nope.
long it's been.
No, because your chip in there, it's not smart
Yeah,
enough.
got you. I
You
got
all
you.
got faster chips.
Hmm.
But man, that's a cool feature.
I like that feature, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the fully editable photo feature because how do you
Well,
know?
that's been kind of Google Photos has had
Yeah,
it
I know, and
for a while.
I don't like it because I don't know what's real anymore. If
Well, no, that's beyond. I mean, there's a picture. Oh, there's just so many examples
yeah,
already. There's one that this got Donald Trump at McDonald's working on the ice cream machine with a screwdriver.
oh, I saw
And it,
that.
you know, that was really nice. I
That
mean,
is
that looks
funny.
more like a cartoon, but no, there's real no.
Yeah,
This AI thing, just this week, you know,
yeah,
everybody knows the song "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree."
yeah. Brenda Lee,
Brenda
yeah,
Lee
yeah,
from 1958, I
old
think.
one. That's been redone so
Old,
many times.
but it's been around forever in its original form. She was 13 years old when
Wow,
that song was cut, and it was number one only recently. I think last year was the first
really?
time it ever actually went to number
I
one
did
because
not
it's
know that.
played in regular rotation
Hmm.
as you get near Christmas. So what they've done is they got the original recording, they kept all the music on it, they kept the background singers,
Hmm.
and they stripped off Brenda Lee's vocal. And with her permission, the AI machine learned the Brenda Lee voice
Hmm.
of a 13-year-old Brenda Lee singing. And so it's able to do the song now in Spanish. And you can hear it on YouTube. And it sounds
Wow.
good to me. And I've not had anybody in Spanish tell me that, you know, they didn't get it right or it doesn't sound right. So
Wow.
think about the possibilities of that.
Yeah.
That they can put out all these songs now that were English songs
Hmm.
and put them out in Cantonese and every other
Wow.
thing that the
Wow.
AI knows how to do. Is that crazy?
Yeah, it's insane. I want to go listen to it now. Now you
And
got
then
me all
you
wanted.
can, it's called, I can't remember now in Spanish, but just put Brenda Lee Spanish
Rocking
Rocking
around.
Around the Christmas Tree. It's on YouTube.
All right, I'll look it up.
There are a great number of finally some shows to watch on TV and on the streaming services. I just watched the first two episodes of season 2 of Lioness,
Yeah.
and it's with Zoe Saldana and Morgan Freeman as the president,
Oof.
and Nicole Kidman as a CIA boss, and Taylor Sheridan is from his world. He directed and is in this one as the old soldier in episode 1 of season 2, and that was about the fastest moving kick butt show I've seen in a long time. That first hour,
I'm writing it down
this
because
woman got kidnapped. She got kidnapped, and they had to send. They couldn't send the army
Mhm.
because it's in Mexico, but they did send gray men, which is
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking
whoever
about.
they are, special forces,
Yeah.
non-uniform, that type of stuff. CIA spooks.
What is the
Lioness
network?
on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay.
Now, Tulsa King is ramping up toward its big finale in season 2. Season 1 and 2 are great. You can binge those on Paramount Plus. Really, really good.
Mhm.
The CBS show that's also, I'm giving you the Paramount Plus things. Right
That's
now.
fine. I'm writing all this down because I
Tracker.
forget. Tracker.
This
Oh yeah.
Tracker TV show is really high end. They do a good job. This guy tracks missing people.
Mhm.
And I don't know what his story is. I mean, he seems like he can certainly take care of himself physically.
Yeah.
But it's well written. It's really
Okay.
nice little 40 something minutes. Um, I'm not in love with the new NCIS Origins.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it today or tonight. I'm not in love with it.
Okay.
I'm not in love with it. Matlock, it's
Is
not
it
my
any
thing,
good?
but a lot of people really like it.
Do you like it? It's with
I don't want to. I'm not into. I just
Kathy
that's
Bates,
not,
right?
Kathy Bates. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't really like procedurals all that much. I'm enjoying the new season of FBI and FBI Most Wanted. Law and Order SVU is always solid to me.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a new series coming. Well, there's right now on Hulu and Disney Plus. Is called Road Diary, and it's if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan, you probably already seen it.
Oh yeah.
No way a Bruce Springsteen person could stay away from that documentary. It's fantastic, the access that it had. There's a boy band thing coming that's in the next 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's going to be really good. There's just a lot of good stuff.
Well, I'll throw in
Dr. Odyssey is sort of stupid.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Is it done?
I'm still watching it. I'm kind of okay, but
I have a couple on Apple that are good. They're sequels.
I haven't been to Apple in a long time.
Oh,
I have no idea what they're doing.
Okay, go. They're bringing back some shows that you might have seen, like
The morning show I loved.
Okay, so they've brought back a bunch of sequels. I'll have to check on that one. But Shrinking, which is the one with Harrison Ford, they have a season 2 just started. Bad Sisters, which was great. If you never saw the first one, it's about these sisters that conspire to murder a bad husband, and he dies in the meantime. Nobody kills him, but he dies, and it's the whole story. There's season 1 and 2 now, just came out, and of course all the people that like Steve Martin and Martin Short in Murders in the Building, Only Murders, their season 4, I think,
something like that.
is out right now too. But
murder mysteries have never been my thing. I like plain out murders, like the NCIS stuff, but
this is
about some of those things. They're almost like plays to me. And
it is. It's a little goofy like that. And
some things you just have to be in. I like, and if I'm really going to watch TV, I generally want something that's pretty escapist. I'm not into sitcoms. The new Reba show is done well, but I'm just totally not into stuff like that.
Have you
I
seen...
like these lioness shows. And
well, I was going to ask you, since you brought up Nicole Kidman, I think it's called Perfect Couple on Amazon. Have you seen that?
I did start
she's in
that,
that.
and I bailed out. Yeah, I didn't.
Not good. Okay.
That.
All right.
Trying to think of other things I might have. These things they kind of go in. They're like cotton candy.
Yeah, I agree.
You sort of consume them, and
then they're gone.
And then they make me mad when they take. Yellowstone's coming back November the 10th. I am curious about how that's going to wrap up in its 5 episodes. But with Tulsa King, they're bringing out one a week every Sunday. And I just wish they'd bring them all out at one time.
Yeah, just play them all.
But they learned it was better for them if they brought it out every week.
Hey, if you want some real garbage, Love is Blind. Watch that. It's trash. It's on Netflix. Okay. It's just trash.
There's something else on Netflix. Netflix has so much material.
They do. They really do.
They've got, you can't find, you don't know it's there until somebody tells you that it's there,
and then you got to go find it. You brought up a good point with Apple. You said you haven't been there for so long. They took forever to produce something new, it felt like, and then all of a sudden they put all this stuff out.
Yeah, then all of a sudden the barn door opened and they put a bunch of stuff on there.
Yeah,
I was watching that space show.
Yeah,
it was when they were going to Mars or wherever they're going.
What are you thinking of?
I don't know, but
Silo?
Yeah, I mean, I had to narrow things down. I did watch a couple of movies. I can't remember which one I watched. God, I couldn't believe it. It'd been so long, on things. But you can go into a deep dive on YouTube, and I did today. I was doing something on Phil Collins. No reason, but just there's a lot of material on Phil Collins if you like his music, and better quality all the time.
Okay, you made me think of another one.
Been giving out whole shows.
Oh, really?
From South America, whole shows in good quality. There's a Beatles documentary that's coming out soon on one of them, either Disney Plus or something. It's coming out in the next month or so. But there's they're dumping a lot of their new stuff out there, and I really enjoyed and they got to do something to help themselves, and I don't know what it is, but not everybody. The numbers are just not. They're certainly not Super Bowlish for the World Series this time. And
I wanted
with Dodgers and Yankees. It turned out to be the Yankees are just a lead balloon unless after we speak here they've done something remarkable.
Didn't
first three games were unremarkable.
Didn't Brad Paisley do the
national anthem on the first one? Did
on game one? Yeah, beautiful. That was the only one I watched, and that's the only reason I watched
watch the
it.
whole one?
No, I just watched that part. I really didn't watch the game at all.
Man, it was one of the fantastic finishes of all time.
Oh, I didn't watch it
when he hit that grand slam. That was a wow of the Captain.
I mean, you do watch baseball for that. I mean, it's great that you got to see it. I was going to bring this up. This is an interesting story. It's on Netflix too. It's called The Woman of the Hour. It's Anna Kendrick on the dating game story. It's supposed to be a true story. There's a dating game killer, and they let him on to the dating game back in the day. And they didn't know his background was.
I've heard something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very creepy and very.
But you just can't afford. I mean, it's costing me a bundle to do Hulu and Disney Plus, and that's cost $15 a month or whatever.
I wonder how much you spend on that. I mean,
I really had to. I mean, I think I'm still paying for Apple Plus.
So that's $9.99.
Paramount Plus because I actually use that. I'm doing Netflix.
Okay, hang on. I want to figure this out. So you got.
If it's anything else, I'm not. I'm doing Peacock, but it's not bad. Expensive, something with it.
You do Amazon?
I do Amazon Prime.
Okay,
yeah,
I got you in there. What else do you do?
So, I mean, what am I not doing? I don't know.
Do you do Netflix too? You said Netflix.
I do Max somehow because I thought AT&T is still giving me that for free, but maybe not.
Okay, so I'm just adding those in as I go. So you're up to about
nothing. I'm not doing. It's not nothing. I got it all.
And you got Apple too?
Yeah, I think so.
You're spending probably $50 to $60 just in those.
Maybe close to 100.
Yeah, by the time you add any of the Amazon,
that's all 15, and
Amazon's 15.
But I mean, it's always something I don't have that I need to watch. And,
that's me too. That is me too. I got an antenna to boycott. I got a digital antenna, which, by the way, has a fantastic picture because it's digital. The signal's digital.
It does. I do. I watch some of the football games.
Yeah.
On YouTube TV, and I never watch them on TV.
Yeah.
I watch them on my computer.
Yeah.
And man, I feel like I'm there.
It's weird. Yeah.
4K or whatever.
Yeah, it's very lifelike, no doubt about it. But for some of the stuff like ESPN, and to get those, you have to have YouTube TV.
Yeah.
To get them, and I can't pick them up with an antenna. So every year I go through that YouTube TV or Sling, and I get it for a couple months, and then I dump it. That's how I roll.
To get ESPN, Disney owns everything in college.
Mm-hmm. They do. Yep.
Now the pros are still sort of separated out. And I'm not even talking about basketball and hockey. I'm talking about football.
Yeah.
And, I know some people that have been binging. This is on Netflix now. This is a Fox show called The Resident.
The Resident.
And a lot of people have really gotten into that. There's a lot of seasons. I love Lily Goes to Paris or whatever it's called there with Phil Collins' daughter.
Emily. Isn't it Emily?
Emily in Paris or something.
Lily, come on.
It's not for everybody.
All right.
I like Paris, and so to me, I enjoy.
Yeah.
Seeing it, and I enjoy the locales there. And I don't know. And Madam Secretary is a show that's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. You can watch The Diplomat.
Great.
That was really good with Kerry Russell.
I saw that.
That's coming up. Season 2 is like any day now.
Oh, it's great. If you haven't seen season 1, catch up real quick so you can get to season 2.
Yeah, do that. And same way with Lioness. That's on Paramount.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
But they've got, they just got so much content. A lot of it is caca, that's on here though. But there's enough stuff you can say, well, I haven't watched that. I started watching the Rookie. I think it was The Rookie that was maybe on Netflix. Bosch is on Prime.
Oh, that was great.
Still one of the great series. Supposed to be a new Bosch coming out at some point.
Really?
But I don't know when. The Crown is on Netflix. Diplomat is the new season coming soon. I've never watched The Lincoln Lawyer, but there are people that are all into that.
Yeah, my wife wants to watch it,
got
but
their own thing, that they get into. Seinfeld is on Netflix.
Oh, I love Seinfeld.
Oh, I did watch this movie finally, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Was that good?
It was
Okay,
ridiculous.
I got the same
But I mean,
about
you know,
George Clooney, Brad Pitt with Wolves.
I still hadn't watched that yet.
Terrible.
Okay, I
It's
won't.
just terrible. My wife and I,
Won't
we
waste
both
my
looked.
time with that.
Yeah, we both looked at each other and said, "This is
I
garbage."
did watch the documentary America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader series.
Yeah, I'll
I feel
commit to
bad
that.
about myself for watching that, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And
Oh, Jimmy.
you know, there's just so many different. There's a lot of material, but then sometimes you get. I was not going to do this, and I'm not going to do it, and
Okay.
I'm still not going to do it. But I know a lot of people on Netflix that really have gotten into the Menendez brothers.
I can't do it. I can't
There's
do it.
something about me that says I'm not going there. I
What?
don't
What?
care.
Did you cover it? Is that what it is? Because I feel
No, I
like
don't know what it is. I just don't. I don't care. I don't want to know it about them.
I just feel like it happened during our lifetime, so I don't need to see it again.
A couple of quick shows if you've never. And I'm just kidding. I don't want to give them any time just to.
All right,
discuss
fine.
it.
Be that way.
Queen of the South is fantastic.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
That was a great series about a female drug cartel
Yeah.
person. That whole series, man, that's a 10 on a 10 scale.
Okay.
This is I wanted them to make more of this one. They didn't. Have you ever seen the guy? He's from The Sopranos and Steve and Bruce Springsteen's band.
No.
Whatever the guy's name is, Lilyhammer. Oh my God, you got to watch that. It's The Sopranos go to Norway.
Oh
is-
yes,
It
I know
is
you're
a
talking about.
crazy series, and it's really, really good. Lilyhammer, I loved it. I
Mhm.
loved it. Designated Survivor was disappointing. I tell you a series you can
It's
get into.
it's
a lot of
it's
episodes.
Steve Van Zandt.
Steve Van Zandt.
Steve
yeah.
Van Zandt is who you
That
were thinking.
Lilyhammer is fantastic.
Yeah.
The Bodyguard was a great series too. They're going to make. some
Yeah, that
more
was
of it.
good. That was good.
And Longmire, you ever see that?
No, but I heard it was good, and it's got
It's
some
the
great
West-
people in
It's
it.
kind of a. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's a little bit of Yellowstone, a little bit of McCloud, if anybody remembers that
Yeah.
series.
Is it is
really
the,
good.
You talking about the one with Lou Diamond Phillips?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that's really
And the
good.
guy that plays Gibbs' father in NCIS Origin was Longmire.
I'm trying
But
to.
that was a great series.
Yeah.
Series. And a lot of people loved Monk. That's
Mhm.
on
I like the actor in
Dexter,
that.
I had a daughter that loved Dexter. I couldn't get into that. Narcos, I think I saw that a little bit. So Olivia Rodrigo, if you know anybody that's really into her,
Mhm.
that just started this week, a concert film.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
there's a lot, it's fall. That's when a lot of good stuff
Yeah, and
comes out.
even the pay stuff, they're doing the same thing TV used to do, right? When the fall
Mhm.
rolls around, they release the stuff. So that schedule stayed true to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
there's
just watched the documentary, The Murder of Aaron McNair.
I don't even remember that
Steve
story.
McNair, who was the quarterback of
Yep.
Titans, Tennessee
Mhm.
Titans, he got murdered by his girlfriend.
Yeah. Crazy. Just
Jaws
crazy.
is still on there.
Oh,
the
and don't
movie.
forget the Lacey Peterson story. If you want to watch that, you can watch
I
that.
don't.
I don't either.
Thank you.
That had about as much
There's
appeal
so
as
many.
none.
There's just a lot to watch. But hopefully, we gave people. Oh my God, that's like a bad quarter just came back. The Tiger King.
Oh gosh, spare
Remember that
me.
was such a rage. That was
Spare
such a
me.
rage for a
Oh my
while.
god. I wonder, it's funny because I look at some of these shows that come out, and I can't remember if that was during COVID. I think it was.
Yes,
Maybe it was before. But a lot of the shows that I watched during COVID, I come back now to watch. I don't enjoy them as much. For some reason, while we were in COVID, it felt like,
Yeah, when you were held hostage like that.
yeah, it was really something to do.
Right.
And now it's like I got other stuff to do. But yeah,
You better
those are
So
some good
get this
things.
election over with, and when we talk again, it will be over.
All right, good. I got Lioness, I got Tulsa King, and I got Tracker. Those are my
Those
three.
are good.
Those are my three that I'm going to go after. Jimmy, until we do it again next week, I'm Derek Walker. He is.
I'm Jimmy Carter.
Good day.
Good day.